Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Pega Partner Hour. As you know, it's a monthly webinar aimed at providing Pega partners with all the information that they need in sales, technical information, and industry domain information. We look forward to you joining us on the second Friday of every month at 11 a.m. I'm your host, Randy Marcin, and I got to tell you, today's edition is a great one. Matt Eckstein is going to talk about Pega trials and community. He's going to be joined by Matteo Casciato with invaluable information on Pega Labs. And then after their presentation, they're both going to take some Q&A. So please feel free to put some Q&A into the Q&A type box. Next up will be Pierre Massimelli, Colm Daly, and Tim Simrell, who are going to bring us through DemoX and show us just what you can do with it, where you can find it, and how to make it work. Pierre, Tim, and Colm will also take questions. So again, don't be shy. Add the questions into the Q&A. And then hitting cleanup today, Michael Brenner. He's going to take us through all things PegaWorld 2024 in Las Vegas, and especially the latest and greatest of things you don't want to miss when you're there this year at PegaWorld. Some quick housekeeping. As always, we'll be recording this session. If you prefer not to be recorded, please feel free to drop from the call, and you're welcome to watch the recording at another time. So with that, Matteo, please feel free to take it away.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. All right, Randy, do you mind confirming? Can you guys see the deck?
You're live.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. So my name is Matteo Casciato. I'm the product owner here for Pega Labs. I'd like to start by thanking Randy for giving me the privilege to present to you all today. I'm excited to show you the services that are provided by my team and the Pega Trials team. The three service offerings provided to you by Pega that I'll be focusing on is Pega Labs, Pega Community Edition, and Platform Trials. All three of these service offerings are run on the same architecture with different limitations and policies structured around them. After I go through my presentation, there'll be time at the end for questions. So I'll start with Pega Labs. So Pega Labs provides all-in-one sandbox environments running on Pega Platform /Infinity to help developers accomplish their goals. Labs run Pega product with all the features available, and we don't have any limitations around what you can accomplish in Pega product on a lab environment. Our mission with Pega Labs is to provide Infinity with self-service and security compliance as the top priorities. We've been supporting Pega developers going back to the PRPC days, 6.2 if you're familiar. And from that experience over the years, we've learned what Pega developers require to accomplish their goals. We've taken all these requirements and developed self-service automation that allows you to complete these tasks by clicking a button. So partners can visit the Pega Labs community page to request an environment. We offer all supported Pega builds. And a great example of a use case for Pega Labs is an upgrade assessment. Say you have a Pega application running on 8.6 and you want to test an upgrade to another version, you can do that in Pega Labs using self-service to update to the latest Pega version, which I'll get more into the self-service features as I get through the presentation. But the first thing I want to focus on is pretty much the architecture of how this is all built. We have 3 deployment types to support the changes that are happening with the latest versions of Pega Infinity. If you're not aware, Pega has been moving towards removing the required embedded services that are built into Pega that allow it to run and function correctly. And instead, the difference is that you would deploy these third-party services and manage them yourself alongside Pega. We also are prepared for Kubernetes deployments, which I'll get into the architecture that's deploying Pega using a Pega image and Helm charts versus the classic tarball. So you see here we have classic, hybrid, and Kubernetes, and this chart kind of explains where everything is running. The classic deployment is having everything run embedded, deploying Pega with the tarball directly to the database. Hybrid is what we have in place to support the interim until everything's fully cut over to Kubernetes, where we're still running Pega itself directly to the database with the tarball, but the external services like Kafka, Cassandra, SRS, and etc. are run on Docker containers, and we configure Pega to point to those instead of the embedded ones. And then the last type is Kubernetes, where we deploy Pega with the playbook and Pega image to and then point to the services also running in Docker. And the reason why we have these three in place is so say you're running an 8.6 app, like I said earlier, and you want to upgrade to the latest, we have automation in place that will move all your data, structure it correctly so you don't lose anything, and your app is as you expect on the latest Pega versions. Pega Trials, which Matt and I will get into later in the demo, is exclusively running on Kubernetes. So that's just to give you an idea of the architecture of how the lab you request is running. Next, what I'll touch on is the self-service features that are exclusive to the Pega Labs offering. So when you get a Pega Labs environment, you get a welcome email with a link to your system page. And from that system page, you can either access Pega or what we call the self-service portal. And the self-service portal is a lightweight app also running on your all-in-one environment. And you can do many different operations in Pega from this portal. You can run Pega updates, which, like I said, going from any old version to the latest or any version you pick. Pega fresh installs. So say you're developing an application, you decide what you developed isn't that great, and you want to start from scratch. You can select any supported Pega version from the dropdown and reinstall Pega to start from scratch. You can also take backups and restore from backups. So if you want to capture your application in a state, make some changes, say you, again, make a lot of mistakes, you want to go back to that state, you can just run the restore, and you can do that as many times as you want and take as many backups as you want. You can restart the server and clear cache. Say you're seeing some issues with cache data you entered that keeps coming back. You can do all of that by clicking a button. Deploying applications, which also clicking a button. We don't offer all applications, only the most commonly used, like customer service, customer decision hub, foundation apps, specifically foundation for financial services and healthcare, and Agile Studio. And you can do that by just going to the portal, clicking the app you want to install or update. Say you were running an older Pega version, you update it to 23, and then you want to update your apps, you can also do that. We also recently added PG Vector. So when 24 goes GA, say you want to test Support Buddy, Knowledge Buddy features, you can enable PG Vector and get started with those. And then also just sharing your systems with other people in your company. Usually the person who requests the Pega Labs environment is the one who gets the welcome email and the system link. And that page is only visible to you, but you can go in and add any email, Pega email, or people from your company also to the access list so they can see all the access information for your environment. And if any of it confuses you, we have a lot of documentation through our portal that can help explain or answer any questions that you have. So that's pretty much an overview of all the self-service stuff. Next, I'm going to go into limitations and policies that are built around that. So Pega Labs environments are available to all Pega registered partners. When you request a Pega Labs environment, there's the form you have to fill out on Pega Community requires you to provide justification, and your request is reviewed by the Partner Alliance team before it is approved. Pega Labs provides test and development environments, and that's mainly to say that you shouldn't be putting any sensitive information on this lab, customer data or anything, just rules and stuff that relates to your application, which all of it's mentioned in the terms and conditions, which I linked to here, if you want to learn more about it. The next is the inactivity monitoring. So when you get a Pega Labs environment, there's not a set time frame for how long you have access to it. The only thing we require is that, which we check for, is that you're still a registered partner and that you're actively using the lab. So if you go 3 days of inactivity without using your Pega Labs environment, it'll automatically power itself down. And from the system page, you can go and power it back on. But say you fail to power it back on within those 3 days and a full month, 31 days goes by, the lab will auto delete. And you get notifications for this on your system page. And yeah, that's how the reclamation and activity is handled. Any environment that you request will have Pega 23, running Pega 23 plus will have Gen AI enabled, but we limit how many daily calls you can make. So you see on your system page when you get there, you also see how much of your quota you've used each day and what time it will refresh. And like I mentioned, the terms and conditions, you can always check and understand what's going on here before you submit the request. And then the next part of it is the support. All support requests should be submitted either from your system page, you can submit a ticket, or for some reason, say you lost access to your system page, you can email pegalabs@pega.com. Usually we help with all infrastructure, connection. If something's going wrong with your lab, we'll help us. But when it comes to actual product questions, like using Pega, doing stuff with certain applications, we direct you to your account lead, Pega representative, or the Pega support portals. And I know I mentioned earlier that we have a few apps available through self-service that you can install by clicking a button, but that doesn't mean you're only limited to those applications. If you have like another app you want to try or you have access to through My Pega, you're more than welcome to download it and attempt to import it through the lab through Dev Studio. It should work as expected. There's no limitations on Pega that would block you. So that's an overview of the limitations. The next slide that I'll go into is Pega Community Edition and Trials, Platform Trials, which are two Pega Trial service offerings that we provide. This is what's led by Matt Eckstein's team, who's on the call with me here. I'm going to go through these slides, and if I miss anything, Matt, feel free to chime in or correct me. Like I said, the Pega Trial system services are built on the same architecture as Pega Labs. You get an all-in-one environment. The first one I'll talk on is Community Edition. Community Edition, I'd say, is most similar to Pega Labs. You get an all-in-one environment without any limitations to Pega Infinity. I'd say it's more catered to working on small POCs that you only need the environment for 30 days or less. And a great example as a use case for Community Edition, I would say, is something like blueprints. Say you build a blueprint on Pega.com and you simply just want to see it running in Pega, you could request a Community Edition, set it up, see how it looks, and then when you're done, your trial will end and it'll be taken away.
And that's coming next week with when we release 24.
Yeah, April 16th.
Right. I will say Community Edition exists largely because of you, because of the partner community. We had Pega trials for quite some time, and one of the main requests was always, this is great, but can I get a trial where everything's open, where I can just do anything in platform? I'm a developer, I want to see everything. And so we came up with Community Edition.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Matt. And so say Community Edition, you're doing it for the blueprint or something else that's short term. Most of the time, Community Edition should be able to help you accomplish your goals. The only time you should look outside Community Edition at something like Pega Labs is if it's a long-term development, where you're going to need something for more than 45 days, or you think you're going to be building on it, changing it. That's when you come to Pega Labs, and that's why you'd have their approval process. Community Edition and Platform Trial, which I'll get into, do not have an approval. Once you request an environment for those, you'll get the environment within minutes and you're good to go. So yeah, platform trials are more designed for new users. This is meant for like a new Pega developer who's looking to learn about Pega, understand how it can help them accomplish their goals. And you should note there are a few limitations in Pega Infinity that we add an extra layer that helps you walk through, use Pega, and kind of pushes you to use App Studio instead of the full Dev Studio suite. And both of them can be signed up. Community Edition is on Pega Community, similar to Pega Labs, whereas Platform Trials are on Pega.com. And when you request these, you usually get the latest GA release. So like Matt said, on April 16th, when 24 comes out, that's what you guys will get when you request Community Edition or Trials. The main difference here from Pega Labs is that you do not get the self-service portal on these labs where you can do all that self-service features, move through Pega and do updates and stuff like that. So next I'll go into how you request or access Pega trials. Both are available through My Pega. You'll see it on the software drop down. And there are some self-service features that you can do from here. Like when your lab, I think they have Community Edition and Trials has similar activity checking, where if you don't use your lab for a certain amount of time, it'll power down and you can power it on from here. And we also give you the option to extend it by 30 days. So 15 days. So say that 30 days is not long enough for you to accomplish your short-term task, you can extend it for an extra 15 days. The other is resetting your operator if you forget the password for administrator@pega.com. And
Oh, we actually don't give out the password for administrator. You have SSO access using your operator, and if you do something or configure something that causes that operator to break, that's where the reset comes in.
Perfect. My bad. Sorry for the confusion there. And FAQ and documentation. And for support, you reach out to trialsaccessupport@pega.com. And those are pretty much the differences between the service offerings. So is there anything else, Matt, that you want to add here before we open the floor to questions?
I'm happy to take questions, interested to see what people want to ask. I will say trial access support works very similar to Pega Labs support. We handle kind of access and infrastructure issues, but if you get towards wanting Pega support, we'll kind of push you more towards the support portal or our documentation.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Hey.
Let's open for questions.
Matteo, great job, Matt. Great job. Thank you very much. So we got a bunch of questions coming in from all sorts of walks of life here. One that came to me directly. The question is, what support and limitations are there for connecting external systems to Pega Labs for dev test?
I can answer that. So when you get your Pega Labs environment, and like I said, you get the system page. When you access the lab through the system page, your IP address will automatically be whitelisted to the firewall. And then you can manage that firewall. So if you need to add an IP address for an external server that you need to connect into your lab, you can do that from the Manage IP section of the system page. We only allow you to add single IPs from that manage section, the /22, not like a /22 or a CIDR. So if you need to, say, whitelist a large CIDR range, you can reach out directly to PegaLabs@pega.com, assuming it's not a huge CIDR range owned by a massive telecommunications company, or we prefer it be owned by your org. We'll gladly whitelist the whole CIDR for you. And that should allow you to have any external machine connect into your lab environment. We don't block any outgoing connection. So if you need your Pega Labs environment to go out to talk to something, there's no configuration required on that side. You can just go out and talk to it.
Right.
I hope that answers
Thanks,
the question.
I think so. Another question that came in, I thought was timely given all the air time that it's getting. Can I import blueprints into my Pega Labs environment?
Yes, you can definitely import it into Pega Labs. I would recommend only using Pega Labs if you think you're going to build on that blueprint, use it for a long time. I would defer and prefer you to use Community Edition if you're just trying to see how a blueprint runs or looks in Pega. But you can do it in both Pega Labs and Pega Community Edition when 24 becomes GA on April 16th.
On April 16th. All right. Quick question. Can you have PGP, which Pega government platform, on an 8.8 lab instance?
Yes. So we don't offer that through self-service portal. So like I said, if you have access to it through My Pega, you could go to the My Software section, download Pega Government for Platform, and import. The documentation is on docs.pega.com. Following that, you can import the required jar files right into Dev Studio on your lab environment. And if you have any issues with it, you can reach out to our support or your support community forums. We can try our best to help you, or pull in your Alliance rep to also support it. But there should be nothing built into the lab that would block you from doing that.
Great.
Sorry to interrupt. I know there are people who have Community Edition with the PGP running on the latest version too. So
Perfect. Unrelated to this, but a quick question on how to find out who your Pega partner manager or account executive is in alliances. I'll reach out to the person who asked this question, but generally speaking, anybody on the call, if you don't know, please feel free to reach out to me. You got an email here, randy.marcin@pega.com. If it's not me, I'll find out who is assigned and get you connected. That's an easy one. This whole thing is being recorded, so the recording will be shared and it will be ultimately put on the Pega partner portal. But a specific question, Matteo, if we can share the deck, and if the answer is yes, I can get that out from you.
Yes, of course. I'll send it to you after this call.
Perfect. And then can we install strategic apps such as Smart Disputes and Investigate?
Yeah, it would be the same as PGP. You just download it from iPega, import it to Dev Studio, and you should be good to go. I think you can do that on Community Edition too, right, Matt?
you certainly can. It's Community Edition is more of a self-service operation. So if you run into issues, we don't really have a great path to support you. And I know there can be tricky ways to install certain apps, but if you have the knowledge and if you have the expertise of your partner, it's very easy to do.
Yep.
Great. Regarding CPDC, is Pega Labs limited to any number of developers within a company?
You can add as many people you want to access the system. The architecture that we designed it off of was it's called the standard deployment model. You can probably find the documentation on Pega still. And that's been tested to support up to 100 developers accessing the lab. But if you notice performance issues where the lab's acting slow, you can reach out to us and we can, if we see that you're under resource, we can add, say, RAM or CPU, but it's not something that would happen dynamically. If you're hitting the max, you would have to reach out to us and we just add more manually to your lab, depending on how many resources you need. For some use cases, we have doubled it for certain teams. I know CRM is a good application. If you're doing the full suite of CRM, there definitely comes times where if you're doing processing a lot of sample data, that sometimes you can hit resource constraints, but it's more stuff like that. Number of developers accessing the lab shouldn't impact, you shouldn't see much of an impact on performance.
Right. Someone has mentioned they don't have a Pega Labs environment. If you don't have a Pega Labs environment and you are a registered Pega partner, reach out to me. I can help connect you and get that set up. If you're not a registered partner and you found your way onto this call, reach out to me and I can help you go through that process to get you approved. Question that came up, is it possible to enable Gen AI on labs?
Yes, both labs and Community Edition have Gen AI enabled. Like we limit the number of Gen AI calls you can make per day just to keep the cost manageable for us on our side. But you can see how much of your quota you're using if you're coming close to your daily quota limit. And you can reach out to, I think, Matt, I don't know if you guys would do it for Community Edition, but for Pega Labs, if you reach out to our support saying you need more quota for us to increase it, we can do that for you. But yeah, we just limit how many calls you can make a day. It's enabled. Go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
Well, we currently have the quota set incredibly high and nobody's coming close to it. We monitor it routinely to make sure we're not going over costs, but right now we haven't seen anyone come close to the quota we have set up at Community Edition. So feel free.
Yeah. So Gen AI by default.
Great. Next question. The Pega Personal Edition is permanent and we can have till next version is released, but with Pega Infinity, the max is 45 days, although Pega Labs provided for longer period. Is Personal Edition discontinued is the ultimate question.
Yes, Personal Edition has been discontinued. I can pass that information on. I was not the person who made the call, even though Community Edition was declared the replacement for it. It is something that product doesn't want to support anymore. They don't want to support a kind of one-click install of Personal Edition, and they think that the cloud-based options that we had provided already were sufficient.
All right. With trials, Can I use NPM to publish modified or custom constellation components?
You can if you point to your own constellation service. It comes out of the box pointing to the community constellation service. If you want to create your own, you're welcome to, and point to your own. We definitely have some customers who are using it who point to their own constellation service.
Great. And then I have a question for you, Matteo. What happens? We talked a little bit about the 31 days. What happens if somebody has a lab environment that they haven't logged into, but they've got a demo on there that they'd like to keep and it's important to them? Are they going to lose that demo if they don't use the lab every month?
Good question. So if you fail to use the lab within the 31 days activity check and it gets deleted, we do have backups going back. Right now it's 2 weeks. Daily backups going back 2 weeks. So if you reach out to us, we might make you re-go through the submission process to submit a request and agree to the terms, and then we can restore your lab. But let's say you have a demo that you think you're only going to use once a month or not very frequently, that you'll constantly be missing this window. We also provide, if you reach out to us through support, we can put your lab into permanent storage. And then whenever you think you'll need it again, you can reach out to us and we can work with you to stand it back up. So that should help for those use cases where you don't think you're going to use the lab often, but you need it long term.
Great. I guess a follow-up to that, Matteo, too, is are they able to export applications from the Pega Labs environment to, say, Pega Cloud?
Yeah, so if you have an app, I'd recommend, if you need to get it to Pega Cloud, is to do the Pega recommended way, which is to export a wrap and then bring that wrap to your cloud and development environment that you have set up already. If the wrap solution does not work for you, there are one-offs where we could work with Pega Cloud to export your entire database and hand it over to them, and then they can work to import that database to your cloud environment. But that latter option would likely overwrite anything you currently have on Pega Cloud.
Awesome. And then last question, this just came in from one of my coworkers. They're asking if they have a customer, what if they need more than 45 days for the community edition?
If you need more time for the community edition, you're welcome to reach out, trial access support at pega.com. It's a case-by-case basis. We'll frequently do what Labs does, and if you're using the system constantly or routinely through the 45 days, and you say you have, or you tell us you have a demo or some date or some sell-by date that you want to have coming up, we will extend it. Like we are not super restrictive. It's self-service up to 45 days. But if you have a good reason and you're using your system, we will extend the date. And the other thing is you're always welcome to sign up for as many systems as you need over time. So if you are comfortable exporting your app, and I think that's a fantastic skill, if you're a Pega partner and you're working with Pega, being able to export an app and import it is a very useful skill. You can always just sign up for another community edition. So you can have 30 days now, 45 days, 2 months from now, and so forth.
Awesome. All right, Matteo, Matt, I can't thank you guys enough. This is information that I think every partner needs to have. And if there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this video after the fact, it's a great job, great information. We can't run this place without you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
All right, and now let's shift over to the DemoX part of our presentation. Pierre, Tim, Colm, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate you guys have great information too. And I'm just going to pass it off to you guys and let you take it away. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Randy. And thank you, everyone. Today I'm with Colm and team, and we will give you a little DemoX overview for you and see how you can basically excite your clients with the power of the Pega technology. So first of all, Randy, do you see my screen?
Yeah, you're live and looking great. We see
right.
the three, and we see the we see your screen share. Thank you.
All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to call out is that we with DemoX, we've really focused on the client buying experience. So why are we trying to make it easy for as many people, including Pega employees, partners, and even clients themselves, to show the power of Pega to influencers with our top client organizations? Well, I know, I'm sure you know that buyers want to see demos. That if you look at the literature out there, you will see that this is the most trustworthy piece of content that buyers want to see wherever they are in their buying journey. So in short, they want to see our product. And at Pega, we are critically pushing for you as partner as well to see and differentiate ourselves on our technology. So not the price, not necessarily like a niche industry functionality. It's all about our technology. And it's even more important for us to show them our technology in action. So whenever and wherever they want, our clients, they can find the answer to their question without looking elsewhere, like for instance, connecting to our competitors. So showing demos throughout our interactions with clients means increased client engagement. But because as DemoX, we are a centralized team within Pega, you get some additional efficiency through reuse and speed. So what I mean by that is that you have a lot of content ready to go that any client-facing roles, including yourself as partners, can just grab. And I will show you how in a minute. But cherry on the cake, everyone can do faster customization based on those ready-to-go assets. You can customize them to the specific needs of your audience. So it's not just something you can leverage as is, it's also a starting point for further customization. And another big benefit is that the client is hearing a consistent story throughout their journey interacting with you partners and with us as well with Pega. We essentially speak with one voice and we ensure this consistency of message across the different types of demo. So whether they start their journey, visiting pega.com, or when SCs, our solutions consultants internally, or you as partner explain, for instance, our Pega fundamentals, they have one consistent message. So here are the different types of demo. They are suited to different intents and audience personas. There are a range of formats, so you have the keys on the right, to choose from. So you have the live demos, of course, you have the videos, you have like the click-throughs, and they all have different pros and cons, depending on the situation. We should be using the full range of possible demo format throughout the client buying journey. Again, depending on who you're talking to, where they are in their understanding of the Pega technology, of the capabilities, and essentially what are their specific needs. So some formats here work better than others, depending again on where your clients are on that journey. And like for our internal SCs, you as partners need to read the audience and pick the tool most appropriate for the situation. So let's go through the three major types of demo you have on the right of this slide here. We call them demo kits. So you have to start a quick, lightweight, and easy to share art of the possible type demos upfront so you can engage with your clients. It's very convenient for prospects to learn by themselves, meeting them where and when they need flawlessly. Then in green, you have much deeper deep dive live demos combined with videos and multimedia visuals. We call them click-throughs. This is to help explain the power of Pega in an interactive conversation about our Pega fundamentals, focusing on what makes Pega so different. With those fundamentals demo kit, you can do things like build for change or build from scratch. And in some cases, get really hands-on with our technology through live workshops. And lastly, that's the purple box on the bottom right. As you transition to more specific interaction, you can create a custom demo kit extending specifically to the business use case for that opportunity with that client. Again, think of this kit as like a mix of live demos, leave behind videos, or click-through packaged together with a delivery plan or a business value analysis that have been created by the combined account team and yourself as partners. So the goal is to detail in concrete terms how we map their needs to a solution based on our differentiating capabilities and how only Pega can give them that solution. So remember, demos apply to any sales stage. Demos are not just live software delivered by a technical person. If we focus more specifically on the non-live demo formats, and by the way, they complement very much the live demo formats as well, we consider 3 formats we make available to sellers at Pega, including yourself as partners. So the first one is videos. They are shareable and can track engagement. We have different lengths and style for different purposes. You can narrate yourself with sound on mute or let the narration play and pause it to add your own speech. The second one is what we call a demo deck. It's essentially a set of slides that you play in a presentation mode. They are usually highly visual, often with embedded videos as well, but they can be easily edited to suit your client needs. So for instance, if you want to explain, like on this example video, you can explain the concept of the situational layer cake. So it's really great for high-level explanation of some key Pega concepts. And you can see the impact, like with sample screens, that directly editable in the PowerPoint. The third one is what we call click-throughs. So this is like a live demo without the risk of something going wrong. You just click to go forward and back. It shows you where to click at each step. And in the video, you can see blue hotspot areas, which indicates where, when, and where the person needs to click to move forward in the presentation. So they are not just static screenshots. You can see in the example, for instance, I can scroll up and down. There are some animations, so it does feel like a real application, even though we should not pretend to the customer that this is real. It is a good way to get to a follow-on meeting with a real live demo presentation. So you probably wonder as well, can we customize these formats? Yes, we all can, and you should as much as possible to the branding or to the custom story for your prospects, as much as we would do for live demos. So feel free to leverage those 3 different non-live demo assets and with non-live demo formats across our different demo stories. But feel comfortable as well to extend and push that to the live demos as well. So you probably need to ask yourself, like, where can I get and where can I access all those demo assets? And the answer is very simple. There is a one-stop shop for partners to access everything all things demo. So it's called the Demo Experience Hub. And what I'm going to do is just share my screen again and show you how it looks like. All right. All right, can you see my screen again?
Yep, we're able to see Pierre.
All right, so you should be on the home page of the partner portal. I hope you're all familiar with the partner portal. So this is the home page, and the best way to get to the Demo Experience Hub is to go to the menu under Resources and click on the Demos label here. What will happen then is you end up on the Demo Experience Hub. You have a little overview describing what is the Demo Experience Hub, so feel free to watch it at your convenience. But then you have a select list of available demos spread across the different industry and engagement strategies. You can filter down the results on the page based on the different demo types we just talked about, the different demo assets, so the different formats. You can find here again the different video formats we have, the click-through, the decks, the live demos, plus obviously all the product areas and capabilities, as well as the target audiences. So when you start playing with the different filters, including, of course, a standard keyword text search, you can basically see the results through like what we call different tiles. On those different tiles, you will have, again, the ability to understand what's available. You have a sample video that we call overview video that gives you a quick overview of what is available within that demo, what are the key capabilities that we are showcasing, as well as the different assets listed for that very specific demo. I will let you play with the different industries and engagement strategies. But if you scroll down to the bottom, first of all, you should notice this load more button if you want to load more demos on this page. But more importantly, there is a summary here of the different demo formats, like the demo video, the slideware that we call like the demo decks, the click-through demos as well, and the live demos. And if you need even further details, you can click on this Learn More button, and you will find a table describing basically what are the benefits and the advantages of each demo format. So let me scroll up again and give you an example with one of the recent demo we released lately. I will scroll down a bit and look for this Pega Infinity 24 platform overview, which is running on Constellation. So this one is leveraging the latest and greatest version of Pega Infinity. This is hosted on our infrastructure, and you can again play the video to understand what's available. So I just muted the video, but again, it's very short. It's only 49 seconds long, but it gives you like a quick sneak peek on what's available in that environment. Again, from there, you have access to the different information that you need to understand what's available, and you can request for like access to a live version of that environment, or all the supporting materials. So because keep in mind that our focus area is really around like the demo stories, and we have for each tile in the Demo Experience Hub, we usually have like scripts and a full set of demo assets and supporting materials that you can rely on for your own experience with, for your own client engagement in general across any stage of the sales cycle. With that, I will just remind everyone that the one-stop shop is this Demo Experience Hub. This is available on the partner portal, and this should be your starting point for all things demo.
And Pierre, I'll just give your voice a little break there to briefly talk about on the infrastructure side. When you do request one of those environments, you'll receive a what we call a DemoX cloud environment, where you have the demo that you chose. And the core difference here between that and the other infrastructure offerings is that DemoX cloud environments will have everything kind of pre-configured. They're designed for you to be able to give a demo right away, right? You know, you can be able to just be able to give a demo. It's not necessarily as ideal for creating from scratch an application or a POC on the development side. So you know, there's a few different offerings that we have here at Pega, and as you can see, each one is sort of specialized for what you're trying to achieve. Whether you want to give a demo to a prospect, whether that be live or non-live, or whether you want to engage in an engineering exercise.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, that's a good clarification because I think something that is very important is this additional demo layer that allow you to have like a quick start for anything when you want to basically engage with your client with a consistent messaging coming from any part of the organization. Yeah.
Yeah, and that demo layer also includes like sample data, for example. We'll have a lot of sample data built in for customer service or any other product that's being featured.
Absolutely. Yep. So with that, we can basically open the floor to like questions. I will just, I mean, while we wait for you to send us your questions, I think my main question to you actually is how can we best support your demo needs in general? So if you have like any recommendation or if you have any request around like how we could do something different in your world to make the experience like smoother, better, or if we are if you're experiencing some gaps in something we offer, please let us know, and we will be happy to help.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. It's on one of your questions here. The question I had for you is people can work their blueprints into DemoX and into the demo environments.
Yep. Yeah, you can today take an Infinity 24 environment, and if you have a blueprint file, you can be able to import that into one of those.
Right. And we were talking earlier, Pierre, and you touched a bit about this, but you know, people can use these assets two ways, right? Like I want to make sure it's clear to people. You certainly can customize these and make them your own, but if you don't have that let's just say you don't have that confidence in customizing, you know, what was your suggestion to them? I would tell them just to go ahead and use it as is, right? Like these are ready to go out of the box.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, these versions, like what we call the generic versions that you can find online and you can also ask to download, are all set to be like customer facing. They are ready to go, ready to show. And if you forget just for a minute about like the customization and using them as a starting point for customization, they are just good to go. So you can provide them with you know, with your own talk track, or use them as is with the script or even the recommendation around how you could present those different capabilities.
And the script will include how to run that demo, right? So when you enter into the demo process, you're not just at sea trying to figure out how do I start a call in customer service. There is a script that's included that can show you that end-to-end processing and even includes the messaging. Sorry for cutting you off, Colm.
Yeah, no, I was just going to add to what Randy said as well for people to remember. I mean, there's probably quite a few developers on this call. There might also be some non-technical people. These non-live demos are actually really easy for non-technical folks to use as well. So if you've got selling type people at your partner, they can easily do a click through. They just have to click, you know, it shows them where to click. They can show a video. That can be really effective too, and it can save a lot of time versus building out an actual live demo. And of course, I'm sure you guys know when you're selling and, you know, you don't often have a lot of time. So, you know, not only are the live ones ready to go, but the non-live ones are even really simple to use.
That's great, Colm. Tell them
And
one more. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just going to say, like, I mean, a very strong use case we've seen internally at Pega is when people get familiar with this catalog, again, the Demo Experience Hub here. I mean, what happens is that you can even leverage the assets from like an online version. Like the generic versions are usually online. So that means that you can play the video. So say you are in a conversation with like with your customer, and they have questions about like, I don't know, like Process Fabric or with like Knowledge Buddy. If you know that there is already something available on the Demo Experience Hub and you have already like played with it, you can basically just load the page on your mobile phone or like on your laptop, and straight away you can have this interaction showing and showcasing like what's available and what this capability is all about. So you don't have to basically, you know, be very, I mean, to practice like for a very long time. You just have to know it's already there, and it's actually short enough to have like a first conversation and infuse that interest.
Awesome. Well, before we move over to our last speaker, why don't you guys call them, if it would be you, tell them exactly where they find it on the partner portal.
Oh, you want to flip back? So you go into partners, over to resources, and down to demos. Is that correct, Pierre? Was I paying attention?
Yeah, exactly. So you basically, let me share again my screen. Up. You are basically on the partner portal. You go to resources. Under the program resources, you have a demos label, and that's where you get to the Demo Experience Hub.
And one other thing to add here, because I'm not sure if you showed, I mean, to get to the live demos, you obviously have to click and fill in a form, but you can actually get right to the click-throughs and all those things, I think, directly from here. So that part of it is all self-service, and obviously the videos as well.
All right. Well, that's great. Pierre, fantastic job. Thank you very much. Tim, great to back him up. I really appreciate the work you guys did. And Colm, thank you for being here and making it all possible. I really appreciate all the work and all of the information.
Thanks for having us,
you,
Randy.
Randy.
It's great.
Thanks, Randy.
And now to bring in my home run hitter, cleanup hitter, Michael Brenner. Michael, let's tell them about PegaWorld, why they want to be here this year, and what's the best things to see and do.
All right, Randy, thank you for having me. My name is Michael Brenner, and I am the Vice President in charge of brand and client experience for the company. And we got 6 minutes left. Are you ready? Everybody strap in, because we're going to get through this in 6 minutes and get you out of here on time. And then I'll stay for questions and answers if you have them. But let me walk you through this really fast. So this is our program, PegaWorld Overview. It is our single biggest event. We'll have probably somewhere around 4,000 people joining us in Las Vegas starting on June the 9th. You can see there's a very robust program that includes everything from training to receptions to Innovation Hub and keynotes to an evening concert. Lots of different opportunities for us to engage with our clients and prospects. And as you look, one of the big things that we're announcing and going through this year at PegaWorld is around Infinity 24.1. where we ask the question, what if every employee is your best employee? And we take a look at this, and we're taking a look at it through the lens of customers and service and sellers and marketers and operations. And when you take that and you take a look at the program, you can see actually these are clients who will be speaking about these various pieces at PegaWorld. This is the reason why we need to get everybody to come, all of our clients and prospects and partners, to join us in Las Vegas on June 9th through the 11th, so that they can see all of these great presentations. In addition to that, there's also these incredible interactive panel discussions, some of which are only in person, meaning that we won't actually post them online afterwards. Things like our vision and roadmap sessions. We also have a variety of other panel discussions where you'll see incredible clients who are going to be speaking about everything from AI and generative AI through Customer Decision Hub, platform operations, and scaling Pega. And that's just a sampling of some of the clients that we have at PegaWorld this year. This is another look at some of the ones who will be speaking at the event. And we also have keynotes as well from Booking.com, National Australia Bank, T-Mobile, and the Department of Veterans Affairs, in addition to our executives who will be talking about technology, everything from Blueprint to 24.1 to the future of tech as well. And the best place to be able to really experience the tech is in the Innovation Hub. It's over 100,000 square feet of space with literally several hundred demos of the technology coming to life. So you'll be able to see everything you need to see in one place at one time. And we have a lot of networking that happens there as well. So this is an opportunity for you as partners to be able to engage with our clients and our joint clients and prospects and be able to have meaningful questions and discussions with them. And then the final thing that we have here is we also have the ability to make those connections. And we have, last year when we take a look at PegaWorld, so I sort of just pulled the data, we had over 350 unique organizations there from over 50 different countries. So it gives you an opportunity, once again, to be able to meet, network, engage with lots and lots of people at the event itself. And we have all this type of networking that's built in, everything from our welcome reception to meetups, which are topics focused over a meal where you can talk about those, through to the Innovation Hub reception, and then repeating it all again on Tuesday as well. This is the best opportunity to be able to do just that. And with that, Brandy, I told you I'd get you done in a really quick time. I'm going to stop there and stop sharing and open it up for questions.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Michael. Quick question that came in. I didn't see you touch on it, but came in from one of my coworkers asking if we could talk a little bit about the money back guarantee that we have this year.
Yeah, so we have so much with 24.1. I don't know how much you've shared with everybody, Randy, but the stuff that we're doing is absolutely incredible around AI, generative AI specifically. And we're so confident that our AI vision and what it is that we're doing is so meaningful and so differentiated from everybody else that we have a money back guarantee in place this year. So any client or prospect that registers by the end of this month, so anyone who's registered so far, anyone who registers by the end of this month, if they don't agree that this was a phenomenal use of their time, we'll give them their money back. That means we'll give back our clients and prospects their registration cost, and we'll give them up to $2,000 towards travel costs. That's how confident we are that this is an amazing use of time.
That's awesome. Michael, I've been to probably too many of these in my lifetime. Never enough PegaWorlds though, but for any company I've been to, anybody that's put one of these on in any city, nobody's ever said money back guarantee. That's unbelievable.
We're not worried about it at all because we know how great the event is going to be. We know how great the content is. We know how valuable it is to everybody, which is why I'm asking all of you as our partners to get out there and really drive clients and prospects. There's no risk at all.
Yeah. Well, and especially for the people on this call, because it's really generally Pega Partner Hour. So we got a lot of partners on here. We have our town hall on Sunday, the first day of PegaWorld, starting at 2:00. So you want to make sure you show up for the Pega Partner Town Hall when we're out in Vegas. Please don't forget that. For my money, one of the most important things that we're going to do while we're out there. Michael, I got to tell you, I see a lot of people talk about PegaWorld. I don't see anybody talk about it with your passion. Where's that come from?
Well, it comes from, the reality is I've been doing this with the company for over 20 years now, so think about the fact that not only do I have passion, but I have passion that has lasted for 2 decades. And I know I don't look like I could be that old, but just suspend disbelief for a moment. The passion comes from the fact that there is no better place to engage with our clients and our prospects. There is no better place to be able to hear about the latest with our technology. There is no better place for our partners to engage and to be able to have the kinds of conversations that are really meaningful and important to you. It is the best of what we do on a year-over-year basis. It's why when we came up with the idea of the money back guarantee this year, it was a no-brainer. I took it to our founder and CEO, Alan, and Ken Stillwell, our chief financial officer, both people who may have concerns about that, right? Because there's a financial impact to that. Not one question was asked. They're like, absolutely, let's do it.
That's fantastic, man. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to be out there. The money back guarantee just tells me how good it's going to be. Yeah. So, hey, that's all our time. We're at 12:00 high noon. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call. As a reminder, the next episode of the Pega Partner Hour will be on May 10th. On tap for May 10th, one of Pega's latest and greatest technologies, Knowledge Buddy, with product owner Jim Carstairs. Join us next month to learn all about what it is, what it does, and how to get it. And with that, thank you to everybody that was on this call today. I'm Randy Marcin. I thank everybody on this call, the partners, for what you do and for taking part of this edition of the Pega Partner Hour. Until we see each other again, sell and be well. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.